Peace and blessings, family. Sister Ajali, this is something that is just encouraging me in my fight to make us aware of the obliterating genocidal carnage of man-made radiation. And the more I read, the more it's just a given what's going on. So when I see the mighty McDonald's, and I don't mean that as a compliment, just free falling with just a small percentage of the population, I'm sure, being the cause of the decline and fall of the beautiful decline and fall of McDonald's, I recognize that our voices are just so powerful. So inevitably, my fact-based warning about Fukushima is going to be successful. It will be impactful. And who knows what's going to happen, because this is one, I know this baby has got to be owned, if not directly, but indirectly by those satanic elites up at the top, and the folks who are on the corporate board are just there to titularly. When I see this falling, I am just so encouraged, because civilization cannot operate off of lies. That's civilization. That's what Western societies have done their best to perpetrate as the real sign of civilization, but it ain't no daggone building. I don't care how fancy it is. The biggest tyrants in history have been the biggest supporters of amazing architecture in their countries. It's a sign of often the low self-esteem of the citizens within that area, and especially of the pathology of the ruling elites of that society. And so Western civilization always wants to make us feel like there's no way that anything that they are in control of can be questioned, so that there's another narrative that's better and that we're all yearning for. And we are. That's why McDonald's is falling. Because overall, even though there's just these propagandist headlines, McDonald's supersized plan, fast food giant will lay off hundreds of corporate staff to free up resources for growth as it plans to reinvent the drive-thru across the world, nothing is going to change the fact that a lot of people don't want to die. No matter what the cause is, they want to do better. We're all going to die, but they want to have a better lifelong outcome, a healthy. I'm not saying that everybody ain't going as far as you can take health, which is stellar. Especially, I just go to 25,000yearcycle.org, where my king has posted the food list of both blogs. One, what you can eat, what you can't eat. Go to the blog section, and that's where you're going to find that vital information, because we're going by what white people say is healthy. And I'll go over that more in the share. Please watch the whole share, because it's going to be informative. I do not ever come up here to waste your time. But these folks don't know, and they would never admit that we have a different physiology than they do. That's why we can't utilize their food recommendations, and definitely not their pharmaceuticals in any way, shape, or form. And so we need to just dispense with the idea that these guys are the titular leaders of what we should be doing as a people. And just overall, all races of people are I hope because McDonald's is falling across the globe that they're waking up. But I find it interesting how they try to, just sort of hide that. That's how I know this is a societal collapse on their part. And I'm going to showcase evidence thereof. But these headlines are just, I'm just going to go through them right here. What else could go missing from McDonald's menus? And they put this as if there's this whole big giant clientele, which they still have. They still make, I'm sure, billions of dollars every single year. But at the difference between expense and profit can be a very narrow margin, especially in this society where you have CEOs who are given millions of dollars in just, give backs or whatever, flying parachute package deals. So they're saying here, as fast food giant warns chicken sandwiches face the chop, fans fear cheeseburgers, Filet-O-Fish, really leave the fish alone, and McMuffins also face the axe. They have to streamline it, probably because their profit margin is being eaten into, and all of these different menu items are going to overtax their revenues, so that they're just like, look, we're just going to be about the burgers, okay? But as far as so many fans, I'm not saying there aren't, but you'll see as it goes on. And this article, not loving it. McDonald's slashes pay, closes offices, lays off workers. And so it's not even just, isolated to the common workers where there, hundreds of them. I'm sure it's probably more because I'm imagining, since these headlines are so propagandistic, that McDonald's is doing its best to hide how much of a cut they've taken in their profit margins. And so much so that it's even like the CEO warned difficult decisions will be made. They're making these decisions so that they could keep their jobs, I'm sure. But I know there's got to be bunches of them who are ne'er do well in that executive level, and their jobs are in jeopardy. Needles on the floor, emergency calls, and mass brawls involving raccoons. It's closing time at the world's worst McDonald's, where a litany of late-night fights have sparked more than 800 calls to cops in 1 year alone. This is something new? No, this is something that's going on at plenty of McDonald's all around the world, because they put these suckers everywhere. But they're letting folks know that these are the restaurants that are going to be, I have a problem even calling them restaurants because they're dives. But these are the places that are going to be on the chopping block first and foremost. But these restaurants, that's their cream and butter. Poor people who are not going to give as much thought into their diet choices as the person who strives hard to do better in life, and they surely want to live a more healthier existence. And so for them to be closing these joints, this is a franchise that's in dire trouble. Hallelujah. Right? And here we got Forbes. Veganism and vegetarianism are changing fast food. 2 years back, McDonald's tried its best with the Impossible Burger. They were offering vegan choices in order to grab hold of the increasing. That is a market that is rising. All of these vegan products, that's why these big giant corporations are buying them up so that they're hoping they can change them back to the crap that they were. And a lot of them really are. The Impossible Burger, you might as well just eat a regular old, corpse burger. Because it's just almost as toxic. I don't know as far as the radiation goes, but I'm just saying there's so many lousy ingredients in the crap. And that's probably people who are more health conscious are going to tend to read the ingredients list on whatever it is that they're going to ingest. Good for you. Keep it up. Keep it going. Rome is crumbling. And they were trying to explain it all away, even by blaming it on the pandemic and the lockdown. But, oh my goodness, it's obvious when you simply look the fact that McDonald's is not alone in this issue. And these major box stores or huge conglomerate franchises, they got to keep their doors open. It was a small mom and pop stores. Those are the ones that suffered. So they're just trying to jump on the bandwagon and act like, oh, poor us. We suffered too. Oh, hell no, you didn't. Stimulus package, anybody? And just to emphasize, it's not just McDonald's where they're isolating McDonald's and they may be hiding, because that's what these dudes do. They cook the books, remember Enron, just so that they can sustain the legend of their success. Our beloved ancestor, Muhammad Ali, and said that the reason why he drove fancy cars was because if he showed up in a little bust down, then people would then not pay him as much attention. For me, I'm like beyond that point. I'm like, look, we need to be looking at the real people who are here to do the best by us, because we are the real people. So I don't go along with that philosophy myself. But at the same time, on this list, you got, what do you got? Domino's, you got, the next one's Pizza Hut, and then you got Popeyes, and finally we got Burger King, the competition for McDonald's. All of these franchises saw their numbers drop astronomically. Enough, and when I say astronomically, enough to cut into their profit margins. That's the difference between staying open and just closing. And here, this is just to emphasize the propaganda that they have to keep alive, because a lot of this is an integrated health where you have the medical industry that makes a fortune off of all the sickly people. They have no interest in us getting healthy. Doctors would be out of business. I know if people ate like me and my king, most of the hospitals in America were shut down immediately. And there would even be a lot less trauma victims from gunshots and other things, because that food interferes with your natural brain function. So you are more prone to depression and violence. And you look how they're peddling violence. They desperately need people to stay as ridiculously addicted to what's killing them as possible. So this headline, the great sweetener lie. What? You need to drink up to 5 liters of Diet Coke every day to suffer health consequences. Why is there so much fear about sugar alternatives? This is such a stacked piece of crap, as I cannot believe. Whose measure of health are they going by? Western societies? They don't study health. They don't even, you go to a doctor for some sort of problem you're having, they're not even going to ask you, what are you eating? And so their model of what is best is based on sickness and disease. When you look at their USDA, what you should be ingesting as far as nutrients, first off, it's extremely, ridiculously limited. But then second off, it's based on what will just barely keep you out of the hospital. They're not going to study those people who are actually in stellar health, who I used to think every single year I was supposed to get a flu. I was supposed to get the cold. No. That is a sign that your diet is off. If you even have sniffles, that's a sign you're doing something wrong. You wake up with cold in your eyes. Dr. Z explained it so well, where he said that when you see that plaque coming out of whatever orifice it is, that's inside your veins and your capillaries. It's inside every portion of your body. And so that's where they should start measuring the health. So you need 5 liters of Diet Coke in order for this stuff to finally bring you down? No, they're just studying it, making a determination when you're on your last leg, literally. And just to hammer home, things are changing. You cannot stop change from happening. on a societal level. Nobody can bring back ancient Rome, even though Madonna tried. But this is a catalog that I think I bought one thing from this company a long time ago, and they, like all of them, they continue to send me the catalog. I saw it, I said, oh no, they got church lady fashions coming for me. But when I opened up the cover and saw what was being offered on the inside, I was like, no, something is definitely happening to our people, because first off, they have this whole inset, which is Afrocentric accessories. They never had this so boldly displayed, and I actually might get a pair of earrings from here, because the earrings are really, really nice. But they had so much, just, it wasn't this prominent where they were just like, say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. They've even got earrings in here like that, and a matching t-shirt for a sister and a brother. And the models have their own natural hair. They go some locks. Oh my God. I wasn't even so mad at, where is she? Vivica Fox, who's selling her wigs in here. I'm like, she just Jocelyn Wildersteined herself up. And the trend is natural. Black China even knows that. Angela, okay? Things are changing. Nobody can stop it. Nobody who supports lies and treachery and genocide is in control of anything anymore. They're just blowing smoke and passing around some mirrors in front of our faces so we believe the smoke is real. It's over. That made me so joyous. That's why I had to share it with you. So this is Dr. Z's website. And up here, you see, is the blog. You go right on over to the blog and you click on it, and you're going to meats you can eat. He's very understanding that some of us, we are just not going to give up that corpse stuff. So he and Arna have studied what different types of animals it's less caustic to ingest. Bison, and I'm not recommending it myself, and definitely I'm against any sea sustenance whatsoever, and they have some sea sustenance on here, but at the same time, you might want to check that out, because you can get better. And then organic is cheaper. And here, foods we shouldn't eat altogether and foods we should eat. The healing cannot be stopped. It cannot. Once a society is gone, ain't nothing gonna bring it back. You can't base people's trust and faith in your leadership, and you're a liar. You can also shop for all of our healing products. That is the vast difference between Black you and me and these devils out here who just, and it's as simple as that. They're just addicted to superficiality. They're addicted to, showcasing what they got, as if that matters more than your relationships. No, my relationship with you, and I may never meet you in person at all. But I know we are a nation. I am no stronger than our nation. And that means you and I, we are one, or we are none. So in putting together all of our products, we as a people, we're always going to do the best by us as soon as we heal up and we are done with the liars. And boy, are we so done. So all of these products are, they're so extraordinary. It's not funny. You can come here and you can chat with Dr. Z, go over. You don't have to be on your last leg to even do a wellness check with the brother for a limited time. Consultations with him are free. That's extraordinary because that brother knows his value. He don't joke around. He does not waste his time. He's a lot of fun to be with, but he ain't kidding, okay? And so, yeah, you come here, you're going to get healed. That's just the way it is. All right, let me get on out of here. I love you. Straight, black, family, pride, and we are on the road upwards forever. Peace and blessings.